Good afternoon and welcome to another inspirational story from Dr. Anna from my book Practical Spirituality, Finding Spirit in Everyday Life, available in Amazon. These stories always have a spiritual twist. That's why I call them inspirational, and they are from my real life. So this one is called Present Perfect, the perfect seat for the perfect life. I used to think that good relationships and good jobs were things that only the luckiest people could attract into their lives. But deep inside, I also used to think that there must be the perfect relationship and the perfect job for each one of us. My view always has been that if someone else can do it, so can I. My two longest relationships at that time, it was my first boyfriend, 5 years, and then I was married the first time, 10 years. I should say they were meaningful, and I should add they were life-changing. And they were based on a tick list. My eyes. I focused with my physical eyes. Is he tall? Is he handsome? Is he intelligent? I don't know, this kind of thing. Later on, I realized when I started on my spiritual path that that is a mind-based judgment, and that really doesn't work. But I learned that it's not that they were the wrong partners, they were the right partners at the time. But as I went deeper into my spiritual development, I realized that there was something wrong with the way I was focusing my energy. So I decided that the next person who would come in my life, I would close my eyes and it had to feel right. No tick list, just feel right. And we've been together today 22 years. I'm not sure at that stage who whispered on my ear this twist in my perception, but it was the beginning of the breaking of my limiting ego mind patterns for relationships, jobs, life choices in general, and it was a complete overturn of the levels of joy and happiness that I've enjoyed ever since. Today, I am much, much happier than I ever was. Things feel magical and right. The right people walk in my life with the right attitude, with the right gifts, and I'm always grateful. And as I always teach myself, I decided to do as I said, because I always answer my own promises. If I make a promise to myself, I will always keep it. So there, this man appeared. It didn't quite look right in the way of the look. And I thought, but it just feels right. Let me close my eyes. I would close my eyes and it continued to feel right. And I thought, follow it, stick with it, follow your guidance. And over a short period of time, this faith paid off. In the very strange way, when the heart sees the person physically appealing, but something doesn't feel right, it will always end up wrong. But when the heart sees the person and feels at home, feels safe, feels ease, then you know it's the right person. At every level, every relationship can feel like this. And I thought, isn't it funny how someone attractive can eventually become someone unattractive or neutral? And someone maybe not so attractive, when it's looked at by the eyes of the soul, it becomes the most beautiful person on the earth for you. How peculiar, right? The presence of this new person was a healing and very important one for me. I realized that by releasing control of my choices, I allowed my higher wisdom to attract the right person in my life. By opening up my heart in a way that this was a gift, that when it was presented to me, I was able to accept it, I was able to embrace it and work with it in faith and gratitude until we both had shaped our lives into what we both wanted. I proved to myself that my theory was right. And now that I got the strategy, I thought, look at the other areas of your life. Now, look at your job environment. I considered that if I could attract the right person, then I could attract the right job. I would apply the same universal law. I mean by this that the job that would allow my freedom of expression, the call for my highest manifestation of my gifts, and the full potential to be developed and bring me the highest fulfillment. However, in real terms, after a long period of restlessness, job hopping, and searching for the perfect work environment, I wasn't really very close to this ideal. So I decided to go back to my present moment and take it from where I was. Another wise piece of spiritual guidance whispered into my ear. I started to look at the people around me, especially bosses, and feel how I was treated and decide whether I was happy or not. And found that in every case, I would take it upon myself to give what I would like them to give to me. So in the case of my boss, I gave him support and compassion. I used to feel he was very hard on me, but I realized that in my mind, I was always judging him very harshly. So in one of my morning meditations, I decided to open my heart towards him and send him as much compassion as I could. Sometimes this means a literally 2-second intense feeling with a certainty that this energy has reached the person or situation it was sent to. I then understood that if this is who he was and this is how he could handle life and people, who was I to judge him? I realized that we all struggle to survive physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and that we all use all the resources we have. It is just that some people have more resources than others. Bit by bit, I saw my work environment and the people around me changing right in front of my eyes. Where there had been criticism and belittlement, there was now support and respect. Where there had been jealousy and manipulation, there was now acceptance and affection. I rarely saw these changes happening overnight. It was as if a huge heavy cloud had been lifted from my energy field, a burden from my shoulders. I felt clean and light, and the old me started to come out to play because she didn't feel unsafe and unsettled anymore. All the time I had tried to keep her quiet and hidden, my inner child, because of fear of getting hurt. Now my boundaries had naturally expanded to accept others and give them the right to be. So at the same time, I was creating a field of respect and awareness of me that had become a natural and low maintenance boundary. All the time and energy I used to spend creating strategies to keep people out of my boundaries, now I realized that the best strategy was a non-defense based on a healthy self-esteem, which in turn was based on the acceptance of the self, and which in turn would become an acceptance of others. This stopped others trying to attack me, trying to attack my personal space, because in the higher levels of understanding, they realized that I wasn't having a power struggle anymore. We all had the right to be who we were, and we all had the space to play and experiment in whatever situation life had placed us. I have now grown into a level of communication with others that I could only dream of not so long ago. No matter how I tried, I couldn't reach out to others. But in turn, I realized that I wasn't allowing others to reach me because I was so busy protecting my inner space. And I can tell you that being aggressive, passively aggressive or actively aggressive, is not the best strategy if you want to create healthy relationships. I feel that I have now broken that pattern. And like a butterfly out of a cocoon, I feel that a great change has been taking in my life for so long now. A huge shift that has brought me clean and lighter energies. And I know that the perfect job that the perfect job is here now. I am a consciousness coach, I am a metaphysical author, and I work in the field of integration of consciousness and human development as a communications specialist. That was a dream not long ago. And it happened like the perfect pattern happened. So what is the secret? You may want to ask me. I would say to you, instead of struggling against your present circumstances, not just accept the gift of your present, but embrace it and turn it around. You need to find a seed of compassion in your heart to send to anyone or any place or any situation that needs healing. You will see right in front of your eyes the incredible miracle of your life healing into joy and bliss. Another question would be, how much happiness can you stand? Thank you for listening. See you next time.